Our next public investment plan, we are going to hear about a detailed evacuation plan from Davidson County from the Office of Emergency Management. We have Chief Swan with us, and he's got a team with him. You will have 7 minutes to present, and we'll have 7 minutes to ask questions. I already in advance thank you for taking the time to put this together. I know that a lot of work has gone into this. I will tell you that there is finite resources, so it doesn't mean that if you don't get funded that this wasn't a great idea or that there might not be an opportunity for funding down the line. I'm going to turn it over to you, Chief, and you can take us away.
All right, well, I'd like to say good afternoon and thank the panel for enabling us to come and actually present our public investment plan. As you said, I'm Chief Swan with the Nashville Fire Department, and I run the daily operations of the Office of Emergency Management. I have Commander Chief Henderson, Heidi, who's our planner, Scott, who is our response, and Rodonna Robinson, who is our office manager, and I have Laura, who's our finance, here with me, and some other members of our staff here. The Office of Emergency Management is made up of a small staff of 11 employees, and 2 being part-time and 9 full-time. We are tasked with an enormous task of planning and preparing all city departments, residents, and business for man-made and natural emergencies, as well as coordinating and response, recovery, and mitigation efforts. When we talk about growth, we see it and feel it every day, the growth of the city. Since 2010, the city's population has increased from 5,700,000 to over 600,000 and is expected to go over 628,000 by the year 2025. The employment growth is projected to be over 654,000 by the year 2025. I know by this time you're probably asking, what does this have to do with our public investment plan? It has everything to do with it because we're dealing with people. There is a heightened need to increase emergency planning, special event coordination, educational training, and preparedness for metro agencies as well as the citizens of Davidson County. I think in any situation or problem, there's 3 things that need to be addressed: the problem itself, the source to fix the problem, and then a way to evaluate that source to see if it's really addressing the problem. And that's what I'm going to try to present to you today. One of our major concerns due to the population growth is our current evacuation plan. Currently, this plan only encompasses the downtown area, and we are in the process of expanding this plan to cover all of Davidson County. This will require multiple metro government departments and nonprofits, state and federal, all working together in partnership to accomplish that. And of course, you've just been given the problem. Let's look at the solution. With all the humming and buzzing and the growth of Nashville, which is a very good thing, we always got to be concerned with our citizens, with their safety and welfare. When we look at our solution, I always like to address any problem with the 7 P's of life. That's prior planning, prevents, past, poor, performance. So what we're asking today is to be granted a additional planner / response coordinator. Along with this evacuation plan, what falls up under the evacuation plan and also encompasses this plan, our coordinator will have their hands wrapped around public education awareness, special events and response coordination. Other programs that will be issued out will be our community emergency response team training, which is our CERT program, assist in planning and preparedness for child care centers, hospitals, nursing homes, everything from small businesses to the single employee. This will lead to an overall community outreach and awareness. Some of the larger venues that we touch and deal with every day includes Bridgestone, the Nissan Stadium, CMAs, New Year's Eve Bash, 4th of July, just to name a few. In some form or fashion, the Office of Emergency Management, we touch and deal with these venues direct or indirectly. Along with all the growth and increase of activities and functions, it greatly affects our 24-hour dispatch center with increase of call volumes and responsibilities. Additional staff is needed to accomplish our goals and to ensure we are meeting the needs and the growth of Davidson County. So we talked about the problem being the growth. The solution is by providing us a planner/response coordinator. So let's see how we can evaluate that solution to see if it actually fits to the problem. And of course, it's hard to measure success by years when it comes to disasters and unexpected and unforeseen events. We know that planning is the key to any success through education and awareness programs. Davidson County citizens and metro government will be better prepared in the event of an incident. We feel our plan will have an immediate effect on each citizen and agency. We can mark our success with the increase of each year from business owners to community groups to the average citizen would have an increase in knowledge on how to respond and react in the face of disaster or danger. We never know when a disaster will strike or where, but when it does, we want our businesses, our citizens, and our tourists to feel safe knowing that Nashville has a plan and we are prepared. Unforeseen and unpredictable events, they just happen. But in closing, I want to be absolutely clear what we're asking for. And we're asking that we can receive a planner/response coordinator will help us absorb the growth and help us be better prepared and be able to attack the situation with more of an educational viewpoint. So we feel the success of this plan involves public education, planning, training, and exercising, and then reevaluating what we've put in place. If granted this request, we'll be able to accomplish all the goals that we set before you. And again, as I said earlier, I appreciate this opportunity to provide this information to you, and hopefully we'll be granted the request that we made.
Thank you, Chief Swan. I think you need to educate me for a second. I thought we already had a CERT team. I thought we were already moving on an a plan. Are you telling me that absent this position being funded, we have no plan?
Absolutely not. What I'm saying,
I think you need to say that to the people at home.
Okay, yeah, absolutely not. We have all the things I have provided today, we've actually have in place today, and we're working strong on those. But if we're granted this planner, what this will do is ease the growth. And right now we're sort of exhausted with trying to meet the needs of the citizens, because the CERT team, as you mentioned, is a very educational program that we provide to church groups, to organization, community groups, which will help them be able to know what to do in the case of an unforeseen event, tornado, floods, or what have you. So what we're hoping is to get a little relief, because right now we're more reactive versus proactive. So even if we're not granted this proposal, which we hope we are, we're going to carry on strong and make sure that the citizens of Nashville are safe. But with the program, it'll just make things a lot easier, and it'll move us a little quicker in the direction that we want to when it comes to public safety.
Panel.
I have a question. I'd like you to comment from 3 different perspectives on this, because I think it would be helpful to us to hear. One is our citizens, which you've done. Second, our tourists, because we have so many, particularly at the big festivals like CMA
Absolutely.
Week downtown, and how does this impact them other than informing hotels? Because with 150,000 people in the street, I don't know that helps that much. And then thirdly, if we had some sort of threat at the city, terrorist or whatever, how does this interact with all those things as well? So could you address those other 2 beyond just citizens?
Well, yes. Well, the first thing I will address is the issue that you talk about, our tourists, our guests.
Yes.
We want to be good hosts. And with any disaster, as I stated, it's unforeseen. We can't determine when and if it happens. But what we want to look at everything as as educational, we want to pre-plan everything. With their planner/responder coordinator, their job, part of their job is what we have, what Scott does now in Heidi. We go to these organizations like the CMA Fest and the Music City Bowl and all the other events that you named. We don't just have an event without doing pre-planning. There's so much involved before that event takes place, and a lot of what ifs. And so what we like to do, which helps, we do what we call tabletop exercise, where we'll sit down and we work up disasters or circumstances. What if this happened? How would we handle that? All of these plans, the evacuation plan and all the other plans from our SIMP plan that we're working with right now, which is our emergency plan that we deal with all the city infrastructure. We come together every 5 years and we revive it and make changes accordingly to meet the city's growth. So by us being able to have someone like this coordinator, again, it always goes back to education. It goes back to training and preparing for an event just in case it happens.
I think, again, I'm going to just jump in here for a second. I think it's important, going back to Michael's point, to reiterate that we do have a plan.
Yes.
And that this plan exists, and it exists for citizens, it exists for big events, it exists for unexpected and unforeseen disasters.
Absolutely.
So this position is not being asked to create something that we don't already have.
Right.
And that I want people to make sure that they feel, they understand that you all, plus a whole lot of other folks, come together on a regular basis to make sure that the plans are in place
absolutely.
for citizen safety, tourist safety, and unexpected events.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear, but yes, we're prepared for anything. We've worked diligently on all our plans, and all we're asking for is to get a little relief to help speed up a lot of the public education. I think that's the biggest thing that we're lacking in, that we could improve on, and that is going out to the communities, reaching out to different entities to help them understand what to do in the case of an event.
Tyler? Rich? Anything? No? Nancy? All right. We so appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
Thank you.